we have this spectacle, this scripted affair in which the president comes before Congress, typically to lay out a legislative agenda. What we're likely to observe are going to be the initial rollout of his talking points for the election itself. The day before Trump holds the State of the Union address, we have the first results coming in through Iowa on the Democratic caucuses, and the day after we're likely to observe the Senate stepping forward and, as Trump will tell us, totally exonerating our president. And the day of, well, sandwiched in between is the President's State of the Union address. So it's a triple threat. You know, he's been demonizing the Democrats and calling them out left and right throughout this impeachment process. And now he's going to be standing before all of them. So it'll be interesting to watch what his affect looks like vis-a-vis them, and then also what their affect looks like vis-a-vis him. This is a fraught period. It's been fraught throughout his presidency. But what we've just observed is the efforts of the Democratic Party and one chamber of Congress to take steps to remove him from office, and the Republican Party rallying behind his side, which only adds to the kind of drama and tension. How it'll play out, we'll have to wait and see. The significance for the coming year of this speech is not about setting the table for the president's relationship with Congress in shaping a legislative agenda. The significance is the president's ability to set the terms under which he's going to take on Democratic opponents and to provide talking points for a party that he has all but taken over in the last 3 years. I expect him to read from the teleprompter, but let's watch for his affect. I think he's, for the most part, going to abide by its script, the script that is written for him. But that's for this 1 to 2 hour period of time. We can certainly expect him to promptly pivot when he gets back on the campaign trail and gets back onto his Twitter account and starts to let it rip. But we can also expect him, in the aftermath of it, in the hours after, if not the days, him to talk about how he was absolutely spectacular. He's in past instances sort of boasted about how he too can play by the rules of the American presidency. He too can look traditionally presidential. But isn't that boring? And isn't what sets him apart the willingness to stand up in a kind of vigorous way on behalf of people who he claims have been forgotten in our politics? Well, when you think about domestic policy, the first thing that we can expect from the president for the State of the Union address is him to hold forth about how unbelievably successful he has been. He's going to lay credit for stimulating the economy to altogether new heights, to stripping all sorts of needless regulatory burdens that have been placed upon businesses, to getting the unemployment rate down just as the Dow Industrial has reached historic highs. There's going to be a lot of credit claiming going on in this speech. And I think the way that the president is going to talk about things that need to be accomplished but that haven't been accomplished thus far is to say, first, the Democrats have been the party of obstruction. They've stood in the way of common sense reform and meaningful action on the wall and on immigration and additional steps that could be taken in order to further strengthen the economy.